And we're live. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to Saber Dice Storm Nights. My name is Cody with Taking 20, and I have some beautiful, incredible, wonderful, sexy, amazing, charm storytelling people with us today. We have David Friant of Nerdarchy. We have Jeremy PILLIPOW of Black Magic Craft fame, and we have Jacob BUDZ from XP to Level 3, as well as joined by our magnificent and glad to have you're still alive, DM.
Yeah, it was close.
Back from Vegas.
Yeah, it was close.
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Well, some of
let's talk about that, Daryl. How was Vegas?
Yeah, so like there's two phases, right? There's the business phase where we're like actually working really hard, 18-hour days. And then after that, there's the, all right, screw it, I'm in Vegas. I'm going to stay for a couple extra days. I'm going to go see Lady Gaga, spend my birthday there, and drink way too much. And there was a chain of bad decisions that, you know, I could describe in detail. Like in every single one of them, I'm like, huh, there's like a smart way to do this. And then there's what I'm going to do. And that, yeah, led to me, you know, falling down in a ditch next to the Tropicana. You know,
I thought it was code for a visit to the Bunny Ranch. And
no.
Maybe I grew up in a sheltered life.
That's rich people talk. Come on.
When my wife and I went to Vegas just in October for our 5-year wedding anniversary, I've never been offered cocaine that many oh my god, so much cocaine being offered in the streets. It legitimately surprised me. Yes. In between, dude, on the walkways in between one casino to the next casino. Hey, man, you want some crack? I mean, it was
think
crazy.
that has something to do with your look, because when I went to Vegas, I was not offered one single drug at all.
Well, that's because the place you
and I looked like an old burnout.
That's because they thought you already had it, Dave.
Yeah, that's true. They probably thought you were competition. Daryl, are we gonna survive today? Is that what's happening?
I don't know. I mean, Magic 8 Ball says odds look pretty good, but I mean, there's always room for a giant.
I kept the same stack of 4 cards in one place.
I kept the same stack.
I
kept the same stack of 1 card. Somehow I only have 1 card. I don't know how that happened. I must use a lot of cards.
Coup de Gracie. Perhaps some people have slept since the last game, so maybe a good little recap into our death scene.
Yeah, because we did have to
as we go to the finale here. Might be behooving.
Sure. So you guys were in Russia. You were making your way back to your boat to get away. You had recovered the 4 psychic kids. You know, that was your mission, was to go in, get them, and get back out. And they are Dmitri, the oldest one. There are Alexei, who's the second oldest, but he's like the tallest. And you've seen him use telekinesis, throw stuff around. There's Marina. She's the third oldest. She's kind of the creepy, quiet one. And then there's Irina, who's the youngest, and she lights things on fire with her mind, as you do.
Nice. And
you guys were headed back. You picked up your friend, the mechanic, the dockside mechanic. You'd saved him from some ghouls, and he had, you know, told you that Boris and Natasha were there at your boat waiting for you. But he knew of a different boat, you know, along the pier, and he was going to lead you to that. And you were going to maybe steal that boat and leave without even dealing with Boris and Natasha.
Which would be preferable, because we practically died trying to save this random NPC.
He's very grateful. It was, thank you so much.
Yeah, no shit, he better be.
You're my best friend. I will take you to Europe, away from this horrible place.
I have a different memory of that encounter, Cody. I remember lopping off heads left and right.
So for the record, Daryl, how many tokens does everybody still have at the moment? Just for
let's
everybody.
See here. I show that Cody, you are empty.
Mm-hmm.
I show that Blood Tongue has 1.
1.
Marshall Lee, you are empty.
Yeah.
And Torg has 1.
I remembered that.
So yeah,
neat.
It's gonna be
true, guys. We are just screwed.
And I only have 1 Cosm card that I'm not sure if it's a good thing to play or not. So I'm basically dry.
I wanted to use my Cosm card.
I'm gonna be approved
remember-
actioning the shit out of things today.
Yeah. Well, and you had the salvage, right?
Yeah, did we use it already?
We didn't use it already, but I think what we were suggesting was if you wait till you get to the boat, you might find something.
So we're not on the boat right now.
You're not on the boat. You're back in the dock. You just kind of figured out.
Hey guys, we should go to the boat.
But not the
I think
boat.
the plan was to do a buzz by of our boat and hit it with the rocket launcher on the way out.
Yeah, we were gonna get on the boat and be like, as we're leaving, but look over at our boat with Boris and Natasha on it and be like, "Deuces, Russia," and just leave.
So the plan is, if we safely get to a different boat, we won't quietly sneak away. We will go out with a bang and fight techno demons on the water.
And make sure we don't
All in.
I mean, only one techno demon,
Sure.
unless Boris has had a
Sure.
recent, operation
Yeah,
or something that I'm aware of.
You never know.
Please, no.
Okay. So, how are you guys going to approach this other boat? Are you going to, just kind of try and sneak along?
I'm gonna super stealthy police officer make my way onto the boat.
Awesome. Give me a stealth test, please.
Okay, I will once I find my character sheet because I forgot that I needed that.
Are we?
Just make some numbers up.
So we're like right at the docks.
You guys are,
Like,
just a
see
little
the-
bit away. So
Can
you
we? Can we see Boris, like our actual boat with Boris and Natasha, or are we like further
Right
away?
now, I'm assuming you're kind of trying to skirt around if you want to get close enough to check them out.
No, I'm just trying to see if we're making sure we're not in eyesight of them currently.
Right now, you are not.
Yeah, let's
Okay.
keep it that way.
Yeah, I think we're going to try to proceed to a backup boat as quietly as 4 people and a Russian
Awesome.
soon-to-be servant, because he owes us, can be.
Because I owe you so much. I owe you my life.
I would just like to point out that on that stealth test that
Yeah.
I got a
Marshall fucked it up anyway. It doesn't matter.
6.
6. Well, so on the bright side, this was pretty easy. So right now, there's not like stuff coming down from the air to demolish you or anything.
Oh,
You
good.
might
There's
have
nothing
been-
coming down from the air to demolish us, guys. We're fine.
So you might have been seen by people. You don't know what that means overall. But you're kind
You
of
hear,
right. You're leading the way, and he's like, "It's down there at the end of that pier." And you get to this boat, and it is clearly transformed because he kind of goes a little pale when he sees it, and he's like, "Oh, that wasn't that before." Now, I mean, it's a good like 30 feet across. It looked like it might have been one of those decent sized kind of yachts before, but now it's like the sides are all rusty and there's spikes sticking out of it, and there's like red paint and panels. There's like sandbags stacked up along the front.
Oh, that's way better.
Right? I mean, and there, he's like, it wasn't like that before. It was a yacht before, but transformation having done its work.
And now it's like a mobile psychic watercraft. This will be perfect. All right, kids, come on.
It reminds me of that time I was watching that Earth TV movie, Mad Max.
Oh, she's seen Mad Max. That's awesome.
Yeah, she watched it on the plane.
All right. So it's not armed, unfortunately. You don't see weapons or anything like that. However, the front of it is reinforced with these spikes, so it's got what's called a ram on it. Which
Nice.
means you need to really collide in there, and it's got a big array of engines in the back, so it looks like it'll be pretty darn quick.
Does it look like anybody's on this boat?
Right now, it looks completely empty.
Finders keepers.
I'm going to get on the ship and then start searching it for anybody.
Awesome. So you're gonna play your Cosm card.
Also, I'm going to play my Cosm card to salvage anything.
Okay, so give me a charisma roll.
Oh, no.
But do you have streetwise actually? You
I
might actually, Marshall Lee. Might.
do. I do.
So that applies.
Sounds
Okay,
like a detective thing.
streetwise. Got it.
'Cause you
Please,
know the ways.
Please, fantasy grounds, please. I pray to thee to grant me. Okay, not bad. Not really good either. My streetwise is a 7, and that's a +0.
Okay. You want to boost that with any cards or your last possibility?
I don't have any.
Yeah, he's out.
Out. So okay, yeah, because willpower would actually boost that up if you wanted to, if you had such a thing and wanted to play it.
Oh,
I do have a
an
second
idea.
chance.
Koopa de Grachi.
I have a second chance I can trade you.
A second chance. What is that? A +3?
No,
No,
second chance.
attempt.
I mean, an 11.
Okay.
Odds are you're not going to do much better.
Do you want
You might do worse after
Adrenaline?
wasting that card.
you want adrenaline?
Or
Okay.
Do
let's
it.
take
Do
adrenaline.
it. This is
we
the
gotta
finale,
risk it.
boys.
Yeah.
This is the finale,
All right,
boys.
I will.
Let's do
I
it.
will take. I will do second chance. I just re-roll. Yeah.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh!
Don't
Come
make
on,
it
Jacob!
worse. Don't make it worse. Don't make it worse. Fuck!
Oh my god! That's so much worse.
Marshall finds something super cool and he drops it in the fucking water.
so good.
So yeah, we'll say that is the one. Like you find two things.
You
right?
can't fucking write the script.
So yeah, the first thing you're like, there's whatever it is, it looks like a weapon. It's like all glowy, pulsing, like veins on it. And you're like, oh, this is the best thing. Whoops, bloof, into the river. It's gone.
Nobody knows. Nobody knows.
Easy go.
Yeah.
Nobody knows.
We don't even know. We're loading the kids on. You're just like, you just dropped the salvation for us.
No,
Did I hear something? No, you
Nope.
Actually, Blood Tongue looks at like these little mental kids. Like, can you use your brain to bring that back? Use your brain.
Let me try this. Like blood comes out of the like a street sign and a tower and a bunch of
Old barbecue.
Yeah, and they're like,
A shopping cart goes flying by.
and they're like, sorry, like wiping the blood off their noses. So, but the other thing that you find in there, it looks like, it's hard to describe, but I'll try.
Oh, I found a dildo.
Whoa! No. So it's got straps on it like you put it on like a backpack.
Cool.
But what you're putting on looks kind of like this, like onyx and silver weevil. And
What's
it's
a
got
weevil?
It's
me
like
Google this real
an
quick.
insect, right? And it's got
okay.
like 6 really sharp, pointy legs that like fold in against its body.
Oh, okay.
It's a bug backpack.
It does. It looks like a weird bug backpack, and you're just like, I don't know what this is.
I put it on.
Okay. Do you have any wounds right now?
I don't know. Do I? I didn't write them down. I think I have 2.
If you got 2, okay. So you put this backpack on. As soon as you put it on, it was like the camera kind of zooms in, like you're still bleeding from one of these wounds, and like a little like it zooms in, and you can see the blood drop like hit part of this backpack as you put it on and cinch it in, click it on, and you might freak out a little bit because all of a sudden those legs like start moving, and they're like stabbing into you.
Oh,
This is the end.
killed by a backpack.
It hurts like nothing you've ever felt before, but these needly legs, they are kind of stitching your flesh together.
Oh.
You still have 2 wounds. You are permanently down 2 shock while you're wearing this thing, but
Okay.
you're not taking penalties from the wounds.
Hey,
Oh.
that's awesome.
It's kind of holding you together, and it hurts like a mofo, but it's
I
like,
come back up to everybody else with this backpack that's currently like holding my skin together. I'm like,
yeah.
hey guys,
And then
this backpack's helping me out.
and there's these like creepy pointy legs like around him, kind of moving.
I found this backpack. It's I think it's skin grafting me. I don't know.
Oh my god,
what it's trying to do.
that looks awful. That looks
Yeah.
so awful.
Look at this part right here, and it's just like
god, that looks so awful.
Every now and then, like one of the legs like pokes him in the cheek. Like a little bit of blood comes out.
Hey, laddie, I think I heard about one of those before from a Russian club. I stayed away
kind
from
of
it.
like acupuncture. Like it hurts, but it kind of feels good.
So, is everybody still reeling? What's everybody's like? Is everybody still on the brink of death?
No, I'm clear. I got no shocks, no wounds.
I'm pretty sure I have 2 wounds, but I might have just had 1. I'm not sure.
I'm good.
No, I'm good.
I think I have 1 wound left. I'm 1 in 5 at the moment.
Right. So shock will recover. Right.
Oh, okay. So okay.
Shock recovers between battles, but wounds don't. So, with the exception that because this stitcher that Jacob is wearing, it's reducing his total shock.
I'm gonna wear a stitcher.
You could give it to Cody. He's got a wound.
I wouldn't wear it.
No, don't.
Yeah, I would be like, no thanks, I'm fine. I'll just see a regular doctor when we get back.
That's how most people react.
My healing thing, it's once per
act. So if you've used it on someone, you can't use it again. Basically,
the act started when we got to Russia.
I think you healed me.
I already did that on you.
Yeah, I think you healed me when I was getting shot up by those dudes in the interrogation room.
Yeah, it used to be way worse. Yeah.
I'll be fine, bro. We just gotta not get me shot by a techno demon.
You can always put the backpack on.
So if
you can always put the backpack on.
So if we're loaded on the boat, if we're loaded on the boat and the kids are on the boat, I mean, can we find a way to
start it up
and get the keys?
I mean it's still, the engines are pretty much regular engines. You guys know what you need to do. So you're starting it up.
Hey, boat guy, is there like a patrol that you guys have out here or something, or like you know?
Guys, I don't know, like before everything changed, maybe. I just work the dock. I don't know anything with the river.
Super helpful.
Just punch
probably
it. Punch it, Cody.
He's like, all right,
you guys ready?
So before you guys get ready, you're like getting ready, you're on the throttle and you're getting ready to go here. You're feeling that pressure against your mind. Like all of you are. Like are you gonna resist it, or are you gonna allow it?
Resist.
Yeah, just let it overcome me.
Do you have any idea what's causing it?
So like that was they've telepathically scanned you a couple of times.
But do we think it's coming from the kids or from outside source?
Seems likely it's the kids.
I
let them probe me.
Okay.
I look at the kids and say, "What are you doing in my head?"
Okay. So like as soon as you do that, like well, a couple of things are going to happen. So first off, Jacob, Marshall Lee, because you were opening to it, you it's one of the girls' voices, Marina, and she's literally telling you don't let on that I'm talking to you or he'll know. And then right then, you're like, get out of my head, and everything kind of like a record skipping comes to a halt. And you're like, she stops, and you can see the kids are glancing at each other now, like they're having an argument.
I look up at Jeremy and at Blood Tongue, and I say, "Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to be talking in your head there for a second. I'll stop."
That's bold. I like it. Go ahead and give me a conclusion.
I am not good at lying because Marshall Lee is a basic little baby.
Oh,
yes.
So good.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh
my God.
Okay, what is that?
This is the best lie ever.
That's 46.
46.
That's 13.
I've got a glory. Can we get it over?
No, we can't get it any higher than that.
No, that's really good though. So actually there's a little and then the oldest, Dimitri, is like, "You're a telepath?"
Yep.
Oh my God.
So
yep.
He goes, "Oh," he seems to accept that.
Yes. Yeah.
It's
random though. Sometimes my power just randomly goes off, and I can't control it sometimes. So Blood Tongue got a little frustrated because I was just making fart noises in his head. So it's just a little bit of an accident there, right? Blood Tongue.
Pesky human. Told you once, gotta stay out.
All right, guys, we're leaving.
So you feel more pressure against your head, Marshall, but you also feel someone else blocking you. So there's a little kind of telepath war happening in your head.
That stupid telepath war.
Yeah. And then eventually it stops, and so Marina is just staring at you and she's kind of motioning to Dimitri because they're the two telepaths.
Just pull your gun and shoot Dimitri in the head.
I go over to Dimitri and I say, "Hey, kid, what's going on, bud?"
So he's like, "Oh, so you're taking us back to Europe?" And meanwhile, Cody, you're like, you want to like rev the engines and go, right?
Dude, if this is about to throw down with all these psychic kicks in the back, that's gonna happen at high speeds over the water.
Got it. All right. So,
Dimitri, Dimitri, listen. Yeah, we're going back to Europe. I know you're probably upset about this, right?
He says, "No, it sounds great.
Sounds great. Really?
Sounds like an opportunity. I'm looking forward to it."
That's great. I didn't gauge how old you were. I thought you were like 5.
No. So Dimitri, the oldest, he's like
sounds like a great opportunity.
So yeah, they range from about 15 to the youngest is like.
Okay, all right.
It's so much better if you just talk to him like he's a 5-year-old.
Are you hungry?
Yeah. Like I found a snack bar up front. And so like
I say, well, I could tell with my mystic, psychic, telepathic powers that you are blocking the other children, and I need you to stop.
He's like, you felt me blocking the others.
Yes, I felt it in my cranium.
Oh no.
Okay. So you guys, the boat's moving now. You said you guys wanted to go blaze past your old boat.
So that's the question. Do we still have that rocket?
Yeah.
The magic stick.
We have a magic stick.
Hey, Blood Tongue!
Blood Tongue is already climbing up onto. This was a kind of used to be a yacht-shaped boat. He's kind of climbing up onto the top where there's all the antennas and stuff, and he's planted himself firmly at the highest peak with this rocket launcher, and is specifically taking a few moments to look it over so he knows how to use it.
You see runes, mystic runes.
You got a lock on that thing?
I think so.
Yeah. You wanna make a guest appearance?
Yeah. And so Blood Tongue kind of crouches down and he props up on his shoulder and he's like, "Ready when you are."
All
Big
right.
stick go boom.
All right. So you guys are gonna go blazing by. And as you gun it and you're out in the river.
This is for the old man.
So, and as you're pulling around there, you're noticing your boat isn't docked where it used to be. Which is already like, let's go ahead and go on to cards.
Is it out in the water?
Probably. Yeah.
We just
we don't
it's
see it at
space.
all.
Yeah. So this is going to be a dramatic scene, just so you guys know. So there you go. And much like, when we go into chase mode, if you guys remember the A, B, C, D, if you get to D, you have escaped Russia. Like you're free and clear at that point. So this is you rarely engage is the card. Heroes are going to go first, but they're fatigued, which means they're going to take shock. Attack and defend are approved actions.
Okay.
Heroes go. A and B are steps on here. Water vehicles is the skill you're going to be using to drive this boat and get out there. Trying it out. So villains go first means, so you're like, you're pulling out and you're like, all right, we're going to hit them with the thing and it's going to be great. And you're looking at the dock where they should be, but are not. And then you can see the boats cruising on the outside of you, with Boris driving the boat, Natasha, is there like aiming at you guys, getting ready to blast your boat. And all the psychic children, they kind of got like blood coming down out of their nose where, they've been like struggling with each other. And finally, Marina has never spoken a word aloud, but she finally stamps her foot and she's like, Dimitri's talking to them. He's the one trying to screw us, right? And Alexa looks over like, wait, what? What's going on?
Oh man, did you all leave me down here to manhandle the kids?
I told you what to do.
Buddy, I'm driving the boat.
I don't want to do this. Oh no.
how funny is this considering what we were talking about before we came on stream?
Yeah.
Make it happen, Captain.
Right?
Blood Tongue is not above killing a small human child. Like, no worries, but he's up there. You know,
Right?
he's in a position. Marshall,
Demonetized.
kill the child.
Definitely demonetized now. Definitely demonetized. Stop saying it.
Marshall's having like a dilemma, like, what am I supposed to do? And you're just like, from
From all
above,
those scenes, saving
child.
children.
eliminate it. Ensure its life does not continue.
Can I walk over to Dimitri and just slam the flat of my axe down on his head?
When heroes go, you guys will totally have your chance. So
Oh, yeah,
most
that's
of the
right.
psychics are like, they're kind of in chaos figuring out what's going on. Boris is going to try and get ahead of you guys to cut you off. He's going to do a step A on his 14, and he's got it. So yeah, that boat that you guys had, which is pretty fast, you can see like it roars out in front of you guys, and they're at step A now. And if they get to step D before you guys do, they're going to cut you off, and you have to fight them to get away. And I think that Natasha is going to go ahead and blast your guys' boat.
Dodge.
So it's not dodge, it's your water vehicles, which is based on your dex.
Okay.
So, Cody, what's your dex?
Oh, neat, because I have a bunch
Because you're
of...
driving the boat, yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, "Whoa."
Okay, so water vehicles is based on my dex. My dex is 8.
So right now it's 6.
Shield the
Your
boat,
guys-
Blood Tongue, shield the boat!
Do I roll or does she roll?
Well, she's going to roll to hit you, but defend is an approved action. You can use your action to defend and try and swerve the boat around, but then you're not going to be able to try and get steps if you want to.
Daryl's just going to keep telling us, like, remember, there is a ram. There is a ram on the front of this boat.
Yeah, I was just
Remember.
about to say. I was just about to say, like, dude, screw that noise. Like,
Okay.
you know, like,
Well, but here's the other
let's
thing.
be aggressive. Be aggressive.
Ho, 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 it's
be
a pirate's
aggressive.
life for me.
Okay, got it. All right, so you're not going to dodge. She's going to blast the boat.
Bring it on, bitch!
Okay. I'm going to spend a possibility to boost that.
Oh no!
Saber dice 4.
Right? 19's much better.
If I get Blood Tongue killed, I will be the only Highlander.
If we all die except for Cody,
It was his plan all
this is
along.
the worst game
There can
ever.
only be one, Jeremy.
All right. So boom, she blasts the boat with this, this pulverizer that she's got. It does a wound to the boat. Blam! Your boat's got 2 wounds, by the way. So she just blew like a big hole. And
Can I
there's,
healing the
water
boat?
Coming on. Yeah. So healing only works on people, unfortunately. But yeah. And
Can I heal the boat?
that -1 is going to apply to you guys trying to maneuver the boat around as well. So blam on that. Also, you all take 2 shock from that.
Okay.
All right.
It's like Star Trek,
It's
like
on.
the boat's like shaking
Oh,
around.
God,
and
I've
you're
got one
like,
wound. I've got
"Ah."
one wound. I've got one wound.
And they take 2 shock each because fatigue. All right. And that's the bad guys. Heroes do something awesome.
What was the approved actions again? Defend and
Attack.
attack.
Yep.
Let's let you fire off the rocket
Well-
launcher first, and then we'll.
One question, Daryl. Does this rocket launcher only have 1 shot?
Well,
Well, would
you're
I know?
not really sure
Sure.
how magic sticks work. So
Yeah. Okay.
you've mostly seen them like do the magic and then throw it away. So
Shoot the boat! Shoot the boat! Shoot the boat!
Okay. Yeah. Blood Tongue is going to try to shoot the boat.
Awesome.
And he's just going to yell out, magic stick, go boom!
awesome.
Boom! I got-
Yes. Yes.
So
float
this
the
is
boat.
gonna use your heavy weapons is basically your dex. So
Do I even have a heavy weapons?
you don't. It's
Dex.
just basically your dexterity.
You know, if you want to go land on that boat, just if you jump and then shoot right below you in just enough time, you'll actually launch yourself over there. Little
Do
known
we
fact with
do we
RPG.
start with any cards at the beginning at the top of the round?
No.
Damn it.
Okay, so that's going to be, if it's my dex, that's going to be 14.
A 14 is going to hit them. So like actually that's gonna do a crate load of damage. But let's see here. There that's 25 AP. Yes.
It just
Uh-oh.
instantly kills Boris. Like just that's it. It's
Well,
over.
pretty much did for their boat, so that step A is not going to do them very much good. So Yeah, they're gonna take 4 shock each from that, and they don't have a boat anymore.
Those Vidania
Oh no!
But they're not out of this.
Mm.
So they're
So are
both
they just like floating on wreckage?
Yeah. So boom, like this huge thing goes up, and that boat is like toast. But you see, like at the last minute, like Boris like dives into the water. She goes up into the air.
I want to ram Boris in the water.
Yeah, do it.
Can I run him over?
Yeah, well, so you got to get to step A before you can attack him because they did.
I want to get to step A and attack him as a multi-attack.
Multi-attack.
Multi-action. All right.
Absolutely.
I have no cards. I have no possibility. But let's do it.
Nice.
Don't roll a 4.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Good gracious.
So
What am I'm
basically,
looking
That's
for?
a +2.
I have land vehicles.
Yeah, but this is water vehicles. It's a little bit different.
Okay, so it would just be a dex.
Yeah. Basically, what you need to get the step is a 10.
Okay, so I have 8 plus the 2.
2. There you go.
10.
Minus
guys
the
are-
2 for the multi-action.
Oh, yeah, multi-action. You're right. So right now.
And -1 for the boat, right?
I'm-
Being damaged.
Oh, yeah, and then -1 for the boat being wrecked. Good call.
But other than that, you're right there.
Well, you're close. You're within 3. If somebody had a supporter or something, you could put it over the top.
Got nothing.
But we have no cards to play yet anyway, so.
Well, Blood Tongue went because he went at the end of his action.
I don't have any cards to put in my hand. I have
Yeah,
one
but you would have
Cosm
gotten
Fire.
a card for you doing an approved action.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Oh, shoot, that was an attack. I got to. Okay,
You're right.
whatever card that is going in my hand. So
And
Nemesis,
maybe
that's
that
not a
will
good
cause
one.
us to run him over with the fucking boat that's designed to ram things.
I feel like Nemesis was not something that is going to be helpful. At the moment.
No, you can play it for possibilities, but that's about it, right?
Okay, well, that's all I got, fam.
I want to go assist
So you're
Marshall.
like gunning it. They're like far enough ahead of you, and you're like getting towards them. You're almost on top of their position, but you don't reach it.
I see Marshall Lee having a dilemma.
He's definitely having a moment down there. Yeah.
So I'm just going to walk up to
Bit of a
him,
dilemma.
smack him with the flat of the axe.
Nice.
Marshall's like, I don't know what to do.
Who to
Bang.
trust? Oh no! Too rich.
Nice. Oh, what? I'm going to disconnect instead, I think.
Yeah, you did use the S. So yes, that is a disconnection.
Oh my
Nice.
god!
So awesome. Torg's right there, stopping people from child abuse.
So I disconnect. Do I still get to play a card in my hand or no?
You do. You get to play them. But here's the thing: while you're disconnected, this is super unfortunate. You can't spend possibilities, and that includes soaking. So,
Okay.
Ruh-roh, Raggy. So
I'm
you're
going
like,
to play. I'm going to play Martyr
okay.
into my hand. Can I spend this now?
I mean, you can. We'll negotiate on what that means,
I want to get a draw and a possibility.
right? Because Martyr's not an auto win. It's just it'll get you out of a tough scrape.
What
Yeah,
are you
no.
doing,
I want to
David?
spend it to get the possibility and to draw a card.
Oh, yeah. Just get rid of it rather than play. It.
Oh,
I don't want to
thank
go
God.
on. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
I thought you were like, I'm dying.
I disconnected
Well, I give up.
so hard I
I give up. I
obliterated.
missed the kid. I'm done.
All I wanted to do was smack a kid.
Yeah, you get your
We jump into the ocean together and the shark eats us both.
right. Well, it's Dark Gold. It could
Oh, now I have 2 possibilities instead of.
yeah.
One.
And a transfer card, which you could play to give those possibilities to someone else. Well, why would you do that?
Exactly. All the glory for me.
Yeah. So, right. So you're like, oh, I'm gonna get you, kid, and and he's like, and then cracks. And then you get like your armor becomes Schrodinger's armor. Like it's kind of like fading in and out. Like it doesn't protect you. Your weapons don't work. You're like, ah.
Correct.
All right.
Disconnects and flashes back to the time she couldn't.
Really
say
strong
anything.
first turn so far.
What's the approved action?
Attack and defend.
Punch him, Marshall. Punch him.
Boris,
How old is this kid?
he's like 15.
15.
Oh
He's
no!
as big as you are.
Older than that.
No, fuck. Well, god damn it. Okay. I want to apprehend him.
Awesome. You want to just grab him?
That'll stop his
But
psychic abilities for sure.
That's attacking him, right?
It is. Yeah, grapple's an attack. Absolutely.
I mean, he can't do it. He's a cop. He's like, he's gonna punch a kid.
Can you grapple his brain?
You guys can come fucking punch
With
the
a gun?
Hey, what do you mean you can't do it? He's a cop and it's a kid. Have you not watched the news?
He's not that kind of cop.
Oh my god.
He could just cap the kid in the leg, but just because he's wearing a hoodie doesn't mean he's gonna do it.
Awesome. Love it.
Shoot
So,
him
yeah.
like
This uses your unarmed combat to grab him.
Damn it.
No, that's good
No,
for you.
actually, my unarmed combat's fucking amazing.
It's exactly. This is really good for you.
That's a 7, which is a -2 to my 13. It's an 11.
So an 11 is a hit. So
Okay.
you've got a choice. So you're kind of grappling with him. You can choose or not to do your strength -2 damage as you're wrestling with him. You don't have like a good grip on him. You can do light damage if you wish.
just smack him around.
Do I have the wish, or does Marshall have the wish?
Well, I leave the where Marshall stops and you start up to you.
Okay, Marshall. Okay, so Jacob's gonna let the damage happen. It's
Okay.
gonna be unintentional on Marshall's side.
Yeah.
So it's more like this is happening while he's trying to like hold him down,
Yeah.
and he just kind of hits his head, and he's just like, "Oh, geez!" And he's
Right.
like just trying to keep him down.
Absolutely. It's like that. That's happening.
Yeah.
So and, well done, and you get a card because that is a successful attack.
Yes.
So
What do I get?
You get a hero card, which is a possibility. You're a hero wrestling that kid.
Yay! I am a hero. It's just a possibility. That's what a hero card is.
Yeah, basically.
I'm gonna put that into my pool.
Very nice. Is that everybody?
I think that's
I
everybody.
could,
We need a new card.
Could I cross the kid?
You could have, yeah, if you wanted to.
Just destroy him. Just end him.
You
Just
could, right?
Did you guys hear Jacob pronounce that correctly? Just saying.
All right. I'm never pronouncing that ever again.
You did it right.
It's coup de grace.
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
It's coup de grace.
This is going to what?
Coup de grace for sure.
Coup de grace.
So, heroes get to go first. You guys will have a surge. I think the only person carrying something outside of...
Sounds like me.
Well, and actually, because you just fired the rocket launcher, you're safe again.
Okay.
I don't think you got anything that doesn't work here. You've still got the crazy grenade, don't you, Cody?
I don't have a grenade.
Your disruptor grenade's gone?
Oh, yeah, I spent that ages ago.
So, all right, so you guys are fine. So, surge doesn't do anything. B and D are steps, which means, so basically as you're trying to get away, there's like a tanker in the way. It's kind of cutting you off. And there's other like Russian boats, like gunboats with soldiers on them, kind of starting to move around, in the water. They don't have clear lines of sight on you or anything yet, but they're moving around and it's making it tougher for you guys to get out.
Are we still in a chase scene if their boat is
You
disabled
are.
and they're in the water?
Because she can actually catch you on foot. Because she's
She
a
can
fly.
Yeah,
Why?
but Boris can't.
Boris can't. He's going to get left behind as you guys
Or
move
ran
back.
over.
Or run over.
Okay. Okay.
So an intimidate's approved. So go heroes.
I mean, I want to run over Boris still. Nothing has changed there. And if he's just
Yeah.
in the water, I just want to run him over.
Right, but there's stuff in the way. You can't get the
Yeah, you
step.
can't get that step yet.
Yeah, you're cut off from where
I'm going to intimidate the child.
Awesome. Love it.
I'm gonna tell him to stop.
Stand down.
Stop it. Get down. I will shoot you in the head. I have a gun. I'm not afraid to do it.
I'm not afraid of your mind bullets.
I'm not afraid of your mind bullets. 2 seconds later, Marshall is bleeding out of his nose. My intimidation is actually kind of good.
Yeah. Do it.
Why there's so many goddamn ones this time? So many. Marshall just goes,
Yeah, he's like, wait a minute, you're not psychic. I don't gotta listen to you.
Uh,
damn it.
So, seeing this failure, Blood Tongue is going to jump down from his perch and he's going to run towards this double-crossing child, and he is going to try to do a double action. He's going to
Okay.
simultaneously try to snap the neck of this kid and kill him
Oh, brutal.
while intimidating the others on the boat, saying, "This is what happens when you double-cross Storm Knights."
Okay. Wow.
They were already on our side.
There can only be one Highlander.
Super dark.
Boom.
Well, that does
Nice.
explode.
Oh, well,
Oh.
still 20. So the intimidation is a 19, and the
Wait, on 11? What?
sorry, I was adding it as a 10, thinking it was like a possibility.
What?
Whoops, whoopsies, that's a 0. Okay, anyways, it's a 12. It's a 12.
-2 for the multi-action, so a 10.
Yeah.
Would you like them to be stymied or vulnerable?
I just want them to be intimidated.
I'll stymie them.
Stymie.
Make the other children vulnerable so you can also snap their necks.
And his unarmed combat, so that's going to be, with the -2, is going to be 8.
Okay. 8 is going to be a hit. What is your damage?
Oh, what is my damage on unarmed? That is going to be an 11.
Awesome. So 11 damage does take the kid down. You got a choice. Is he dead or
He's
is
on. He. I just want him to be knocked out.
All right, cool. So and here's the other interesting thing. Darkhold's a mean, rotten, nasty place. You did a wound to him. You recover 2 shock.
Nice.
Because
Bam.
when you do wounds here, you get shock back. It feels good hurting people.
If I have the time in combat, I immediately check the kid's pulse to see if he's alive.
He's alive.
And so,
Okay.
Daryl,
I don't shoot blood tongue in the head.
with the approved action, that's a card, right? But I'm also going to discard this Nemesis card to take a possibility and draw a new card. So I'll need 2 cards.
Awesome. You get a second wind and a rally. Ooh, nice.
Are Natasha and Boris within 10 meters of the front of the boat?
They're not within 10, unfortunately. They're closer to 20. Like a step is about 20 meters in this case.
Okay, got you.
Once you can cut around and get to that step B, you'll be close enough to Boris. Yeah.
Can I try to intimidate them from here?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so I run up to the front of the boat, brandish my axe, strike a pose. You know, maybe unleash a little bit of the dragon's breath to create some. We will freaking burn you.
Awesome. You going for both of them?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
-2. So, yep.
So that 9 is not going to be very impressive. That's a -3. Let's see. I will spend the possibility to intimidate.
Awesome.
Because
You're
why
gonna
not?
spend a possibility.
Nice.
Would
That's
be
gonna
minimum
be
10. But
19.
however, I'll go ahead and stop you there. Boris goes and counters your possibility.
Oh, that's so.
He played counter possibility.
He
Right.
did.
Now, I will note here's something that you observed for free. Like before, he was kind of grabbing his coat because he had that item that gave him extra energy. He is not doing that here. It could be just because he's like drowning and swimming, but like he's not reaching out for anything else at all. They might have taken his eternity shard away from him for what happened earlier.
All right. Well, I'm going to play Glory into my hand just in case.
Cool. Cody, what you want to do?
You fat little whip! And I'm gonna kind of intimidate him.
Cool.
I mean, I guess we need cards here. I have no possibilities, and I have one.
Well,
fucking
and
move
so
up.
in a chase, when there's, I was saying, in a chase, when you can't do the step or whatever, if you go for the step anyway and make it, you get a card. Essentially, it becomes an approved action if you can't do otherwise.
Guys, I
With
just
the
like to
5, I don't think
say
it matters.
we've played almost 20 to 30 hours of this game.
Yeah.
I
That's all
just
that
learned
is.
in today's game, if you do an approved action, you get a card.
Oh my god.
I had no idea. I was like, oh, cool.
No.
I'm going to do that.
So is the surge a whole nother thing, or is that the?
No, yeah, that happens at the beginning. It's fine. But I almost forgot, Torg. You were actually disconnected. You got to roll your reality to reconnect. And you couldn't get that possibility if you didn't.
Warwick, you're going to just fucking die.
Okay, 10. That
Okay.
explodes.
That explodes. So yeah, she recovers. Yeah. So you do recover and everything happens the way it would. It's like, yeah, your stuff snaps back into being. All right. So that's good guys. Bad guys are gonna go. So I think Torg's standing on the front there, like waving her fist at people. So
Yeah, absolutely.
That Techno Demon's gonna have to try and hit you with a polarizer. I think that's what's gonna happen here. 12. She's gonna spend possibility to boost that. Nice. 31 is much better. 10, 15. So that's a 25 against your dodge.
My dodge is a 9.
Awesome. So that's going to be an outstanding hit for the Techno Demon, dealing 17, 18. There we go. 23. 27 damage. Kablam.
That hurt a little bit.
On the bright side, you're not disconnected, so you can actually soak.
Yeah, it's my last possibility.
Right?
If I want to try and soak. How many wounds is that? I have a 15 toughness.
So you got a 15. That is 2 wounds and 4 shock that it would do.
And I've already got 2 shock.
Yep.
All right, here it goes. That's probably not going to... I knew that was going to happen.
Uh-huh.
So that's a 9 is a -1.
So Torg is instantly dead.
So that's not going to soak.
So that's 2 wounds done to you and 4 more shock. And the great thing is Natasha recovers 4 shock.
Nice.
Like, oh, yeah. Feels good hurting people. And Boris is like, oh, man, what am I doing out here?
About to get run over. About to get run the fuck over.
What he's doing, like he's like you can see him. He's yelling at another boat around. It's not a good one, but he's like throwing his GRU badge at the guy, and he's like, "Come pick me up. This is a."
I'm about to truck him.
There's a guy like looking around, like, "What? What's going on here?" So
I'm about to truck him.
So there is a boat heading towards Boris.
20 meters on a speedboat. I'm about to truck this guy.
You are, because step A, step B, step C are all on the card. Heroes are going to go first, but everybody take 2 shock right now.
Ouch.
Ow.
Dave's dead. Dave died. Torg is dead.
So if Torg
okay, cool.
is
I'm just guessing.
unconscious, like that's...
Did you just say we just took shock?
Yeah, 2 more.
That's 8 for me. Shock.
Nice.
Shocked out.
Oh, you are shocked out?
Oh, yeah.
So,
I was right.
You might
2 4 2 is 8.
You might want to trade someone for a second wind. That'll get you 5 back.
You can only trade from your hand. I have it, but not in my hand. I have it in my pool.
And you had to spin that martyr card, Dave.
Right? Well, no, and here's the thing: even unconscious, you can still play cards. So you can get back in the fight. So, intimidate and maneuver are the 2 that are up. A, B, and C are up, so you'll be able to get that step A and do stuff. Heroes go first.
The first thing is Blood Tongue is immediately see Torg go down and be unconscious, and I haven't done healing on her.
Yeah, that's true.
So he's going to get over and start like reciting prayers and making
outstanding
magic happen.
Nice.
Wait, so that is 2 plus my faith, which is very high. So that's 17.
17 is going to recover 2 wounds.
Oh, nice.
And 4 2 wounds and all the shock. So you're back on your feet there.
Good as new.
Good as new. By the will of Lenala.
Mm-hmm.
Well done. And play a card in your pool.
Yep.
With the kid knocked out, I'm going to turn towards the other kids and say, all right, you're going to have to help us. What were you trying to tell me in your heads?
Yeah, right then, Marinas just starts gushing out. Just like I could sense it, like the Dimitri, he wanted to turn us in. He wanted to betray us.
Oh, that's awful. Let's make sure he doesn't do that. We got to hurry. And then I turn and I go towards the wreckage that's going on over on the side. I'm like, can you guys help with this? That would be awesome. And I pull up my tiny pistol. And if there's people in the water, I'm just going to be like, just making sure they're dead.
What?
You stole my thunder, Jacob. You stole my thunder.
What else do you want me to do, Cody? Console the children?
No, I want no. Let's just it's the
He's not
finale.
gonna kill Boris in one round. I don't.
Full on. Oh, what do you mean we're not going to kill Boris? We're about to run his ass over with the boat and or stop and shoot him with an AK-47. He is so dead.
I look over. Do I see Natasha?
She's in. Yeah, Natasha's in the air.
I'll shoot her.
Okay, so right now with a pistol, she's -2. She's just far enough.
Do it.
And if you
He should shoot Boris and make sure he gets dead.
And if you wait until Cody gets the step, you won't be taking your range penalty.
Cody's screaming about wanting to kill him up there, and I'm like, okay, I hope you don't fuck this up for us. And I will fire at Natasha.
Okay. Nice.
That's pretty damn good.
That is good.
With a -2, that's plus my fire combat. That's 19.
A 19 is a good hit. Roll your bonus die.
Sweet. That is 3 plus my 13 damage, so 16.
16 does a shock to her. You're like, blam, blam, blam. You're like, bang, 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 bang. You're like, oh, wow. She's like made of metal and really hard.
She's made of metal and really hard.
Yep.
That's what she said.
And actually, before Cody revs up to ram, can I just get this rally card out of the way and load us the fuck up
yes, you may. Absolutely.
Okay. So for those who don't know, all players may discard as many cards as they wish from their hands. Players may then immediately refill their hands. So
cards.
So I don't know where you want us to put how many. I need 3 cards.
Okay.
Oh shit. Okay.
1, 2, 3. You get a drama, willpower, and a supporter.
Nice.
I got rid of one of mine.
Same.
So how many do I?
It's how many cards you're short from a full hand you get to refills, right?
A full hand is 4.
Yeah.
So I just need 1.
One card. You get Marshall Lee gets a coup de grace. Cody gets a master plan.
2 coup de grace.
Take 2.
2 for
Coup de
Torg.
grace.
Glory and coup de grace.
36-44.
Can I use master plan to snag back what Jeremy just played?
If it's in your pool, you can.
You just play it again.
Yeah, you can. Like there are combos of cards. Like when you're dealing with really into it players, some of these combos are just they're brutal.
Okay, so Daryl, I know that we have like A, B, C, and D and stuff.
Yeah.
I want to make sure that this guy is absolutely dead. So he's in the water. He's looking at a boat. You said he was 20 meters away.
Yep.
I got a fast boat. I'm gonna zip up. I'm gonna immediately cut the engines and drift the last 3 meters right next to him as he's in the water. I'm going to take the AK-47 I got after being shot up all the hell in the interrogation room. I'm going to walk over to the side of the boat, look down at this guy who is swimming in the water, and I'm going to just unload on him.
Okay.
I'm going to empty the clip.
Got it.
All right, just to let you know, Daryl, I also put Flurry into my pool.
Okay. Good to know.
Or my
So can I just empty my clip into this guy swimming at the boat?
So if you want to pull up next to him, this is going to be multi-action. 1 to get the step A to get close, and then absolutely just it's going to be a long burst with your AK-47. So go ahead and give me a roll. Don't roll really low.
Okay. The saber dice 4. Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my God, that's
Of course.
so ironic and so great at the same time.
So, did you with all those shenanigans that happened? Do you have any possibilities now, or are you?
No,
Cody,
it's just a 4.
No.
I'll trade you my Flurry.
I just cut the engines and don't make it to him.
Right, exactly. So you're still going to get to fire away.
Cody, I'll trade you a Flurry.
What is the flurry?
Nothing's in your hands.
It gives you an
though,
extra
is it?
attack.
It does what?
It gives you an extra turn.
That,
Your character gains an additional turn this round after every hero has acted.
yeah.
So you
No,
can get
just
it.
hold on to that one. Yeah, hold on to that one.
So
I'll just
now you got your 4, which is -6. You got +4 because you're just unloading with this AK-47. So your net is -2, -4 because you did the multi-action. So what's your fire combat -4?
Would make it a 5.
Okay, so you're like, "Brrr," and it's just like an action movie or whatever. You see him go, whoa, like dip underwater and under the surface. You've got like all the.
Would an
bones, like,
8 have hit him? Would an 8 have hit him?
Yeah, actually, with
I'm gonna like to play Adrenaline then, because it says you may play it after determining success level of the test.
absolutely.
So I'll play Adrenaline. Then I'll play Coup de Grace.
There you go. Okay, so you're starting at 14 damage.
God, why'd you say it like that, Cody? You know it's Coupa de Graci.
Yeah, it's Italian.
Kick out of that. Yeah, so I don't have the AK's damage.
It's 14 damage, so 18 is what you do. He is going to try to soak that.
Plus my damage die, right? For Coup de Grace?
Oh, right. I'm sorry. I looked at the 4 and thought that was it. So, all right, yeah.
Is it just 1 or 2?
Just 1.
Add a bonus die. Is he a reality rated foe?
He is.
I'll play my Supremacy against him.
Ooh. And what's that do?
Gives me another bonus die.
Oh, nice.
Blood in the water.
So 20 to just murder him.
So 20 damage total. He's definitely going to try and soak that.
Only 20?
16. So he soaks one of those 2 wounds, but he takes a wound and you get 2 shock back, Cody.
Neat. Because hurting Boris makes me feel good in my
It does. It really does. Like,
He's just so hurtable.
Yeah, right? That's
so hurtable.
That's a property of Dark.
Boris has a punchable face.
Yeah, like it gets dark. You're like, he's like, wah. All right. Great. Well done.
Pretty sure Torg's the only one.
Yeah. So we haven't gotten any closer, have we?
No. He was like, I'm gonna get there, like put like revs the engines and then like bails to go shoot it, and the boat's kind of like going in circles. Like,
yeah. So the approved actions with maneuver
and intimidate.
Oh, and intimidate. Oh, intimidate's always good. I will try and intimidate somebody. I'll try and intimidate Natasha.
Okay. We just blasted you real good.
Yeah, which is not going to be heavy.
16 is what you're trying to beat on her.
Yeah, well, I rolled a 6, and that's going to be a -4 to my intimidate. Which my intimidate is not bad, but it's not good enough. So
right, you're like, that didn't hurt, and she's like, I'm pretty sure it did.
You went down and everything.
You're not fooling anybody here. That hurt bad.
I'll play coup de grace into my pool though.
All right. Nice.
In case I can roll above a 10 at some point.
Marshall, you.
Huh?
Yeah, you held off going until after Cody did, so you're up.
Oh, I did? I thought I shot Natasha.
Yeah, I shot Natasha.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you did. Yeah. You're right.
She's meddling hard.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Did you want to play your flurry now?
No, because I. Well, yeah, I forgot you could do that.
We're at the -2.
I'll go ahead and do it now.
Cool.
And I will shoot Boris.
Awesome.
I would like to play Master Plan to take Flurry.
There you go. Do it.
What number card is that, Jacob?
17.
Okay.
Also,
It
note
actually
that,
has Marshall on it.
yeah, and note that you could just play it too, Cody. That way you could actually.
I'm gonna wait to see if he kills Boris, and if not, I'm probably gonna Flurry.
I'm gonna
kill
shoot Boris in the head.
Awesome.
I mean, I could jump off the boat and karate kick him, but
Good.
In the water.
Right? Sure, that would
Really
work out
slow.
great.
Jesus, take the wheel! Fuck! That is a 11.
All right. Now,
Why would you call on a pacifist to shoot somebody in the head, though?
Regular hit. So 13 damage.
13. Oh, sweet. It still does damage.
Yeah, it does do
I got him.
Did you kill him?
No, he took some shock off.
I
that
Flurry.
He's not in good shape.
I Flurry. I
Give him
reload
a
a clip,
McFlurry.
and then I rifle off another clip into the sky.
On the plus side, I think we drained their possibilities pretty fast.
That's true.
They've used some, right?
So this is just an attack action, yes?
Yep. One more lower, and that AK would be like overheated, but you're just safe right now.
I have nothing to add to that.
So yep. All right, there you go. Okay, so you see, Boris takes his action struggling to get in someone else's boat. Like, and there's like a random guy like in the boat, and he's like, "What are you doing?" And Boris just like throws him overboard. Like, get out of here. You know, that's what he does. Natasha, oh man, she's got some stuff, but I want to save it for if anyone goes in the water.
That sounds promising.
Right? And that pulverizer like works really good for her. So I think she really liked pulverizing the dwarf. I think she's gonna do it again. Actually, yeah, pulverize the dwarf again. Absolutely.
Bring my dwarvish battle cry. Not in the face!
Not in the face! So 1, so that's a 16 against your dodge.
My dodge is a 9.
So that is a good hit, doing a total of 21 damage. Your toughness
My
15.
toughness of 15.
That is a wound and 2 shock. Ooh, and that helps her recover shock. She's feeling pretty good.
Nice.
Boris is not. That's about the guys. Oh, this is super not good for you all. Oh no, is the card. Villains go and they get an up. That means they're going to roll a d20 and then get another d20. Shit.
Yeah.
Defend and intimidate are approved. Defend might be a thing you guys want.
I'm going to defend.
I'm gonna do that.
I'll defend.
Defending sounds like fun.
So, yeah, I think she's gonna blast you guys with that pulverizer, and she's just like doing the
Dodge.
to everybody.
True story, bro.
Dodge. Fucking Pathfinder.
So Torg, 14 gives you a +1. Your defense goes up by 1 for everything. Torg.
Woohoo. Does that include toughness?
No, it's just your defenses.
Gotcha.
So, and the hope is I don't hit by a super amount and do like crate loads, but I probably will.
The dice have been much kinder to
I know. Everyone else that was defending, roll your d20 to generate a bonus. And remember, you can play cards to boost that bonus. Minimum 1, so you're +1,
Oh.
+1, minimum +1. Minimum
And
plus
that's our dodge. That goes.
Yeah, but all
Yeah.
defenses, including intimidate and stuff like that. Would
Can I
go.
play my hero card?
Yes, you absolutely can.
Boop.
Minimum 10, so Jeebus. So 18, that's going to give you a +5 to your defenses. Marshall.
My defense is my value is a 12.
Yeah. So right,
my dodge.
You're starting at that, and then so it'll go up to 17.
So
Okay.
I came out with a 12 total.
Yeah, but minimum +1. So basically, everyone's got +1. Marshall
Yeah.
got +5.
Yeah, so my dodge is 11 plus 1 is 12, right?
Yep. So she's taking the -6 to try and get everybody. Kablam!
You sure you don't want to shoot the kids?
No!
No!
No, we're sure. You guys are fucking evil.
All right, so that's a total of
36.
Don't show them
36,
too much
thank you.
favoritism, Jacob, or they'll think your character's creepy.
yeah. So that is
Yeah, well.
10 -6. She's got a +4 total, which means that's a 19 against you guys.
Wow.
So
I care about their
that
livelihood.
Gonna
beats
hit
my
you by
11 pretty
yeah,
handily.
so that's 17 damage to Marshall, and everybody else, that is
7
damage.
How much shock is that?
What's your toughness?
She might have just killed us all in one turn.
She might.
My toughness is a 9.
So that is a wound and 2 shock, Marshall.
Oh, I'm out.
Well, no, you take a 3rd wound, and the stitcher goes, and your shock goes down by another 2. Does that knock you out?
Goes down by another 2?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm already taking 7 shock, and I already have 2 shock.
So,
You done.
So yeah.
and here's the worst thing ever, because what this thing is programmed to do, if you shock out, it actually gives you back 5 shock at the cost of another wound, which takes you out. So he goes like down, and, he's like, ah! And then it goes tick, 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 and it starts like pounding. Like there's blood everywhere. Just there's this fountain of blood from that.
Oh God.
And it's like, oh God, that's the
Worst
ever.
character death ever.
Okay, so this thing is just flaying him, trying to repair him. Help me work out where I'm at with this for wounds and shocks, Daryl.
Oh no.
What's your toughness?
Okay, my toughness is 11.
So you just took 2 wounds and 4 shock.
2 wounds and 4 shock. I'm gonna play this second wind that's in my hand to at least get those shocks away.
I kind of just want us all to die.
I have 9 toughness.
Yeah.
I have 7 current shock and 1 current wound.
Nice. So that's 2 wounds.
So that just kills me. Cody is dead. He is not the Highlander.
You can take 3 wounds, so you're still on your feet. But
No, I had 1 wound left.
Oh,
I outright die.
Okay, right on. Blam.
I made it to the finale though.
Cody is not unconscious. Cody is for real. Rip up your character sheet. Dead.
Yes, correct.
So there's a roll that we do here, and there's some hilarious stuff that might help Marshall. But yeah, so is anyone on their feet after that?
Well, I mean, I
What was
have
the
2
total
wounds,
damage?
so I'm all right. I got 2 wounds. I'm still on my feet.
What was the total damage? 21?
21.
21. So I took 6.
So that's a wound and 2 shock.
Yeah, so I have a wound and 2 shock.
Bam, you're like, ugh. Didn't anyone have the crazy card that let you guys basically double the wounds that you took as bonuses?
No.
No,
Well, are you talking about the Scourge card?
Yeah.
I have that. It's like, but all combatants, enemies, and allies add twice their wound penalties
Right.
to
right.
melee weapons or unarmed combat.
Right. Right now, that would actually benefit you guys more than them because they're
Because they're pretty banged up as well.
they're
Yeah.
actually not. Yeah.
they've been hitting us and healing.
Wait, maybe I'm misunderstanding this card because it says enemies and allies add twice their wound penalties. Doesn't that mean that
So if you've got 3 wounds, you're adding +6 to everything.
We're more wounded, so that would be worse for us.
Yeah, why would I want to play this?
Because if you're more wounded, you get a bigger bonus.
I thought that
More pluses.
you've lost me. I thought we get a penalty if we're wounded, so it makes things harder to do, and this makes that even harder, doesn't it?
No, that gives you a bonus. That
It
basically
flips it.
offsets it. It flips it.
Oh,
It makes wounds work for you rather than against you.
okay. I'm very much misreading this card, so I'll do that.
Awesome.
I'll do that.
You should.
Okay.
So, Cody and Marshall are both down. I need you each. What's your lowest between strength and spirit?
Lowest?
Yep.
8 strength is my lower of the 2.
So
I have 8 in both.
Okay, so you're rolling, and you're looking to get a 10 to be alive, and the 8 is what you're looking.
Hey!
Nice. Now you are -3 from you're. And the interesting thing is, and Marshall is not taking wound penalties because that's what the Stitcher does. So there's no minuses.
Sweet.
So Marshall's alive. If
I'm alive. And so is Cody.
Cody got an 18.
See, we're not all gonna
die.
die in the
It
finale.
does, in fact. You guys are you're out, but you're not dead.
Okay.
You're injured and wrecked, but okay, cool. That was bad guys. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, that was bad guys, but they're up. Heroes.
I want to jump to the wheel of the boat and ram into Boris's boat.
Okay.
Oh, he's in the water still.
Well, no.
Or did he get to a boat?
He's in another boat. And
Okay.
then step A. So right now there's no step A on the card. So you can't get to the wheelboat in time to get there.
All right, so that's not going to do anything. And what were the maneuvers? Dodge. And we dodged. So
you
we
dodged. Yeah, actually, you did. Yeah.
We have no turn, actually, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
Yeah, we have no turn. We get to take a card, right? So
You get to play a card. Yeah.
No, we get to approved defense.
yeah, but we all got
Only
hit,
if
so
you
it doesn't
missed.
do anything.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Oh, we have to successfully dodge.
Right. You have to actually dodge.
Nice. Great.
So, taunt and trick. A and B are on the thing. Villains are going to go. So
I would like to stay unconscious.
I will allow it.
Same
All
as
right,
these.
thank you.
And remember, you
Is
can still play
sleeping an
cards.
approved action?
Well, remember, you can still play cards. So stuff like Second Wind that gets you shock back will un-KO you.
But how? But
still
we
have all
can't
those-
we can't get any new cards.
No.
Yeah.
But if you have them in your, can you put them in your from your pool to your hand?
I have 2 Koopa de Grutchies. So
Okay,
Those will
well
not
then
help
okay, a glory goes into my pool
All right.
Yeah.
just in case.
So and, I'm not even rolling for what she's doing. She's in summoning these chains. They come up out of the bay and they're wrapping around the 3 psychic kids.
You should kill her. You should kill her now.
You can reach her.
And Boris is taking that other boat and he's
Throw the axe
back towards you guys. He drops from step A down to where you are. And he's like, surrender now. We'll take you into custody. And
what step are we all in?
You're basically not even on the board.
We didn't even make it to A.
We're on pre-A step?
We didn't even make it to A with the
So
boat.
I will. Yeah, can I try and trick them?
Yeah, he failed his intimidate, so go ahead. You guys get to go.
I will. You surrender, or we're going to murder, or I'm going to lop the head off these kids.
Oh. So you're treating that as a trick or a taunt?
Yeah.
Trick is
Yes.
The kids are just crying.
It doesn't matter.
Even chains, they're pretty messed up.
It's gonna be a trick.
You got to be the 10.
I gotta be okay.
Oh, you way got there.
Yeah, that's going to be a 12. I wouldn't say way got there, but
Would you like him to be stymied or would you like him to be vulnerable?
I would like him to be. Well, we can't get to them, right? They're out of range.
he came
No,
back.
they came back to us. Yeah.
Oh, I'll make him vulnerable so Blood Tongue can maybe do something.
Remember, you guys,
It's
that
fine.
he's vulnerable. Oops. And that can't be right. Action card is what you get.
Action! All right.
Oh.
Unconscious land.
All right. Well, I'll
Like
just
limbo.
play that right into my pool.
Oh yeah, yep, that was them. Go.
Okay. I guess Blood Tongue, like there's no one close enough into. Blood Tongue is going to
He came close. He's coming close to capture.
But I think Blood Tongue is going to try to push over Cody's body and try to grab the wheel of the boat and do his best to try to learn how to drive a boat and ram it into Boris's freshly.
And immediately disconnects.
It's freshly stolen boat. Right on.
So what am I rolling for this to try to charge into
So it's
him?
basically your dex.
Just my dex. Okay.
And this is going to be untrained, so 20 does not explode. But 19 is pretty effing good.
Okay, so that is that's 14. And what is the scourge thing from the wound penalties? How's this affecting that? Anything?
So do you have wounds?
I have 2 wounds.
All right, so I'm going to say that does apply. Like it's for melee attacks, and I'm going to say a ram counts.
Boat melee.
Yeah, both melee. So you'd get +4 as well.
Okay, +4 to the roll, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that changes it to 20. So it's 8 + 8. That makes it a 16.
Okay, so go ahead and give me a bonus die of damage.
Come on, 6.
Well, 2's plenty. So yeah, he's like I'm gonna like surrender or whatever, and you can tell he's taking plus another 2 because he's vulnerable. The he's taken aback when Tworak's like, or I'll kill the kids, and the kids are like, what? And like that stuns him for a minute. You like jam the engines forward, and this thing just rolls over the cross on the top of his boat, cutting it in half. And he's going to use his last one to try and soak, or else he's going to the bottom. So he's still up, but barely. So he's back in the water again, minus another boat, And Natasha's like laughing her ass off. She thinks this is the best thing ever.
Are you not entertained?
She is entertained. She's like,
well, she's all worked up from beating our asses.
She is. She's feeling great. This is like her best day ever because she's been, his subordinate and seeing him getting his ass kicked while she's just blasting you guys. She's having a ball. She's like, yes, please, more of that. Any other heroes? I think everyone else is unconscious. Yeah.
Yeah.
We bleed.
We bleed.
Yeah, you do. Okay.
Some of us more than others. Marshall.
Villains are going to get a little bit of shock back. She's back to full. He's no longer in extreme danger. He's going to try and climb onto your dang boat. He's going to just
Don't
good.
on my dang boat.
is climbing on the dang boat. So Boris, like pulls himself up, and that's basically his action. He's on
So
there.
is like that a maneuver for him?
Yeah, exactly. It's not even really a maneuver. It's just he's taking his action to get aboard, and he draws his stupid pistol. And it's like not even like an impressive pistol. He's like, oh, get you.
He just made somebody a really happy lady.
Right, and then you think that
Cody's done.
Dwarf is gonna get blasted again by a polarizer. Nope. That's a 15 against your dodge, Torg.
So that's I guess my 9, bringing it down.
So that's that's 19 damage.
All right. So that's 4 that'll carry over.
So that's 2 shock, no wound.
Okay, so I got 4 shocks so far.
Wham, wham.
Not a wound, I think.
Good guys, go. Defend and maneuver are your approved.
I would like to snore.
You do.
Samesies.
Snore on.
Would a maneuver be like to ram Boris off the boat?
Yeah, that's right. You could like bump him off the boat and all that.
You know what? That Bloodtongue is going to gun it, and then he's going to quickly kill the engine on the boat and do a sharp turn and try to throw Boris over.
Absolutely. Do
You're
it.
gonna throw us all overboard.
Do it.
Oh God, I'm
Boris
not
makes him
holding on.
heavy.
Marshall's not holding on.
Just
That's not
gonna
really
slide
great.
off. It's like the Titanic.
I'm gonna get rid of this, use this drama card to spend it as a possibility.
9 is what you're trying to beat. Oh, a 10 explodes.
I want him to die in the process. Okay, so that is 20, 29. So that's 9 plus my dex of 8 is going to be a 17.
17. So right now you need 2 more to make that the player's call, which will finish him off.
I do have an action card if you have something to trade me.
I can trade you supporter for it.
I'll take it.
There you go. There you go.
And
So
then
you
I'll play.
play
So
that?
I'll play the action. Is the action a roll?
Nope,
Is that-
+3.
Or it's
Yeah,
plus
it's
3?
just plus
Okay.
3, which gives you the buy 10. So what would you like to have happen to poor Boris here?
How much do I have to work with? Can he actually fly off the boat and land impaled on some wreckage from the first boat of his?
I would even give you like propellers from another large boat or something.
I just want to say that he flies off the boat and there is a big broken metal pipe from his first boat, and he just gets skewered, asshole to mouth,
Missed opportunity.
Dude,
Right?
holy
He's fighting right and goes real fast, Boris.
Right?
In a
So
propeller.
you do get 2 shock back, by the way, because that did do wound like a wound to him. He was pretty wrecked. And Natasha's cackling. She's like, yes, who's in charge now, Boris? I am, and you're all going to die.
Well, so
I'll take my approved card for that maneuver.
No, that's exactly right.
As he drives off, she's just like, "You never go ass to mouth."
Right?
We're already clearly demonetized at this point, guys.
The children are scarred.
Yeah.
So has Natasha gotten any closer to us? Is she in that 10-meter
No,
range?
she's been quite happy hovering about 20 meters away, just blasting.
She can fuck us up from the air, and we can't do much about it. I can't.
I'm just going to grab Cody's gun and be like, how hard can this be?
Nice. I like the way you think. Pew.
And
My gun's better.
I'm just going to, I don't actually know. She doesn't really know what she's doing. So she just grabs the trigger, just pulls the trigger and holds it. And points.
This is where I'll let you know that our art for disconnection is literally Torek doing exactly this.
Nice.
Oh, that's so cool.
Well,
There you
that's,
Oh,
That's-
but it actually works out. So
that's a 17, so that's a 4 on my missile weapons.
it's just your dex. It's fire combat, which she doesn't have. So
Okay, so that's a 12. I will play action to get up to a 15 if it makes a difference.
it does. So
All right.
hit. Doing a shock to her. Like, brrrr. If you got a ton of coup de grace, now would be the time to play them. Otherwise,
Can you play multiple? I have one.
Oh yeah, you can drop as many as you want.
So I have one. Anyone else have a coup de grace?
No.
I do.
I will give you.
Oh yeah, you can play cards still, so do that.
Yeah, I'll give you supporter.
You wanna have some fun? I have 2.
Right.
Oh, then take Florian supporter.
I will take Flurry and supporter. Take 2 Coupa de Gracies.
Right, and now you can play the supporter and get another dice on this.
Oh,
I play supporter, and you get another dice on
So
that.
how
That was my idea.
but I want to know what this looks like. Like what? How does this like flopping, bleeding corpse like assist in all this?
Supporter. Okay, so you go over and you grab the gun, and you just watch us all get like shot, and Boris just went ass to mouth, and you turn and you grab the gun, and you just hear, and you look over, you see Marshall, and he just says, "Torg, you don't know how to use that. Don't fuck it up."
Turn off the safety.
Safety.
Yes!
Torg, and you look over, and I'm just like, "Turn off the safety."
Okay, so that's significantly more damage.
that's 16 to what? 14?
Yeah.
So that's 30 damage.
Okay, so a couple things happen. One, you get back 3 more shock, or four shock. You recover from that, and she's kind of had enough of that. Like she does not want to end up like Boris. She's going to disengage there.
Oh.
So but between the 2 of you, you kind of figure out how to get the boat moving enough, to get out of the river. You blaze out. Yeah,
But don't we have the Russian guy with us that showed us where the boat?
Yeah, that's right. He could be driving the boat. Absolutely. He's like, I can do that. I forgot. I got stressed out. Sorry.
What did I sign up for?
I'm not good in a combat situation.
I passed the AK-47. I think I'm going to keep this.
Cool. Yeah. So yeah, she is wounded but flies away. You guys drive away without further, being accosted further. What are you guys gonna do about Dimitri, who's unconscious right now? And the other kids are actually they're chained up still. They're like the chains are still on them, and they're kind of looking at you.
Well, yeah, no. If they're still chained up, we'll take. They're not anymore. We will have freed them up.
Okay.
And Blood Tongue is going to ask. Was it Irina, the little one? Marina, can you keep an eye on his mind? Don't let him try anything. Otherwise, I might have to kill him.
She's pretty sure she can block him.
We will keep him chained up. We'll free the other ones and blindfold him. I don't know if it'll help at all, but that's what I think of. And then Torg turns to the children. We weren't really going to hurt you. We were just trying to trick them.
Oh, they don't believe you at all.
Your lie was so convincing. The children still believe it.
You look down. Look, kids. Look, trick was an approved action that turn. That's what we were trying to do.
And my dice exploded. So it was a
crafty
great
dwarf.
And Blood Tank goes, "Look, 2 of my friends are dead, so that we could save you."
That definitely kind of shuts him up. Absolutely.
And then Blood Tongue finds an old rusty bucket in the boat and puts it on the passed out kid's head, thinking that will stop his mental.
Right. So he's blindfolded, and there's a rusty bucket on his head.
Yeah, he's like,
others are kind of looking at you.
What
like,
will I do?
Okay.
Put a bucket on my head.
Sure works.
I can shoplift from him, no problem.
So yeah, it takes a few hours to get back to a safe harbor. They're taking CODY and Marshall off on stretchers. And they take the kids off for debrief. They take you guys out for a debrief and ask how'd the mission go?
Poorly.
Right,
Perfect.
and you're kind of like talking about it, like, oh yeah, we threatened these kids.
How it usually goes.
And they're like, oh wow, okay, got it. No more sensitive missions for this team.
And we tell them that this one bastard kid was a double-crossing son of a bitch.
They'll keep an eye on him. So CODY and Marshall do regain consciousness in the hospital later.
Oh my god, I survived.
Is there anything that you guys would like to do as like a denouement as this, as this
I
wraps
was
up?
I was waiting for Marshall. We started together, so I was waiting for him to come around.
Yeah.
He comes around and he's smoking a cigar in his room.
Right, and like
So,
a nurse just like
safety.
comes in, douses it,
Safety.
runs out.
Safety. Yeah.
Right.
Did you undo the safety?
I did and it just inspired me seeing you there broken.
Oh, good.
I got that bitch.
I'm so proud.
Blood Tongue, I need a favor, man.
Would you like me to teach you how to drive the boat? Because you seem to have some trouble. I was pretty good at it.
No. What I really need is it's down in the backpack. There's a little blue device, and it flips open, and I need you to bring me my Game Boy.
So Blood Tongue reaches into his backpack and he finds a Tupperware container that has half a grilled cheese sandwich in it, and he brings it to him and he opens the blue lid and says, "Here's your Game Boy."
You should mention that Turek's probably not giving back your AK-47.
Thanks, bro.
Good.
Thanks, bro. So, I mean, we all survived, right? Is that
Barely, yeah, barely.
We're heroes, guys. We almost died, but we're
Some of
heroes.
us survived standing.
Right.
Hey,
That
speak
was
for
super
yourself.
bad, but-
We only tried to kill one kid.
I didn't try very hard though.
Right.
Yeah.
Let the record show.
We finished that with me having just as many wounds as you guys have at full.
Yeah,
So.
you guys were pretty hurt. So there's a lot of hospital time. There's a lot of debrief. You guys are congratulated for getting those kids out, and they're like, who knows what they might know and what we might be able to get out of this. They tell you a little bit about the completely destabilizing situation in Russia, where it looks like there's 3 factions now battling it out for who's going to be High Lord, to take the place of Kranad now that he's gone. And it's ugly. And they're really glad that, these kids aren't going to be a tool for one side or the other. So they're pretty sure that would have happened. So it was lucky that you guys were in there when you were. They didn't expect things to go
we killed a
that
techno
bad
demon.
that quick. Yep.
Plus, Russia turned to real shit recently. Like it was bad before, but now it's like an apocalyptic hellhole.
Right. Right.
Like more than usual.
Right.
More than usual.
So well done, Storm Knights. That's pretty much the end
Dun,
of
dun, dun, dun.
We did it.
Woo!
That's the completion.
Yay!
All right, so guys, if you're hanging out with us here, stick around. We are going to have a chat. I guess that's the best way to describe it. We'll take some
well,
questions.
people can. Yeah, I can talk about all the stuff that I did wrong, because it's one of those things like when you're in the moment and doing stuff and you're like, oh, right, there's totally a rule that says exactly the opposite of what I just did. Sorry, everyone that's trying to learn Torg from this.
Pro tip: it's okay to fuck up the rules, even if you're the game designer who made them.
Even if you
Right.
didn't write that rule.
My joke is that's why we write this stuff down, because we can't remember. Right?
It's like coming up with an NPC and just changing the name every single time they come back as a recurring player. All right, so guys, listen, we're going to take a quick, maybe 3-minute break just to let the cast stretch their legs, and we'll come back and we'll take some questions. We'll just chat about
ask
the game.
questions.
And,
Get your questions in the chat.
So load those up, and then we'll be back with a Q&A session. All right, guys, thanks for waiting on us to stretch the legs and get a few drinks in us. So we're just going to talk a little bit about the season and kind of recap and answer any questions that you guys have. So I guess the first thing is like, holy crap, we all survived. Did you guys expect us to, did you guys like expect we were all going to survive by the end of it? Or did you think people were going to die tonight?
That was my plan.
That was always the plan.
A techno demon's no joke. Like Boris isn't that tough.
Yeah, he's just like one of us.
Right, but she hits so hard, you know, like she's, you know. And as you guys saw, like you guys both had to roll awfully good on those death saves at the end.
Also, we were in a boat in the middle of the water with a flying techno demon with the 2 melee people left standing. So it wasn't really a good situation. It was a good thing that that gun worked when he picked it up.
I mean, that's true. And I could have been a little bit mean and just shot the boat instead of the group. And just like, that
would have been awesome.
Now we're all swimming.
At least the conscious ones are swimming.
So here's the question. What was the best moment for you guys for the entire campaign?
Anton calling out the Techno Demon Lord.
That was awesome. Easily one of the worst moments of the campaign, Dave. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, man.
That was my best moment anyway. You can pick your own best moment.
I think I thought the best moment, it was like the 1-2 step was Cody firing the Laws rocket the wrong direction with the 1 and blowing up your Jeep. And then, like, flipping it around and blowing up the monster with the second one that he found.
It was like a perfect, that we got a glory off of.
It was, right. It was like the 1-2, like the agony of defeat. Oh, the triumph.
Well, and that same fight, I think one of the coolest things was when Torg, like, ran into this monster and Blood Tongue followed just to bless her hammer or axe, and she cut it open from the inside out. That was pretty rad.
That was pretty awesome. I think one of my favorite moments of the season was something that my character helped do with, we had to come up with that unbelievably convincing lie that we got the glory off of, that like we killed Thrachin and we're now in control.
Yeah.
And then followed that up with Blood Tongue immediately fucking up the plan. And then me being like, hey, is there a jar in here or something? And you were like, yes, there is a jar. And it's fucking magical shit. And that was fun, I think.
That was by far the best, specifically perfect player question to ever take place in all tabletop history.
Was it really like a magical jar before that, or was that improv?
I feel like
that was there. It was going to be a clue to the finding the same goo in Australia. I just wasn't expecting it to be like cracked open and do the stuff like right there. Like I expected you guys to grab it like, ooh, treasure, and they'll analyze it and be like, whoa, we found this crazy thing that you're going to have to fight. But it worked out great as it was, you know. And that's why I got so excited. And you're like, "Is there a thing?" And I'm like, "Why, yes, there is a thing."
I think I specifically asked for a jar.
Yeah.
So that's so weird. That's so weird. What about Jacob? What was yours? Did you answer?
I don't know. I really like dying as Eli. That was fun.
That's just because you didn't like Eli.
Well, I don't know why I decided for like. I was like, we're gonna play on Save or Die School. I'm gonna play 2 broody, angsty characters, and I was like. It's not fun at all.
You coupled Eli with Valentine and hated both of them.
Yeah, I don't know why I decided to do that. I thought I could make it fun, and I was like,
But I thought you did a good job with Eli. So like, Brown, you know, that archetype, the old like Monster Hunter, like that's his gag at conventions is always like, in my universe, this is even worse. Like,
I definitely would have had fun with Eli if I had played him. At a table, probably with my friends, I would have enjoyed that. I wasn't thinking that, and I was like, "Oh, I'm going to be doing it on Saber Dice. It's going to be more like a show." He just wasn't very.
I wasn't thinking these guys are my friends.
Yeah,
I know, right? I'm over here like, okay, buddy,
it's fine. Dude.
I just don't have. It's a different experience overall, and so it's more difficult for me to convey those kind of moments that I want to get out of the character because. I just have a different view on it. I don't play online that much.
Well, then that's a good question for Daryl to go from that. How you were thinking, Jacob, where you're like, I'm going to be playing online and doing this, because this is your first experience really at all. And Jeremy, I mean, you're a YouTuber, but you don't really do a lot.
I've only played a handful of Only a couple like one shots.
So what was it like to be on quote unquote Saver Dice of like the people are watching and it's not even the number of people watching live, but like how many people go back and see this, you know, over the next 18 months?
Sums it up one word: terrible. Terrible.
I'll let Daryl answer first, and then.
So here's the thing. So, like, I've been a game master for like 30 years doing stuff. So thank God. Like, if I didn't already have 30 years of experience on that, I'd have floundered hard. I mean, and I think you can even see in the early ones, I'm still struggling. Like, this is a different format and all that. The bright side is, like, you guys make it easy. Like, you'll just do stuff as players. It's like, okay, cool. I've got things that I can just do. And the more I could focus on that and not, like, playing for the camera or to the time and all that, the easier it became for me. But overall, it was more tiring. Like, I run games and I feel better after I'm done running them. Like, we'll go to Gen Con and I'll run like 3 in a row and I'll be like, I'm ready for number 4. But like online, it was taking it out of me. I was like, wow, this takes a different kind of energy. It's very, you know, and you never know, like, stuff that would play well just at a table doesn't play as well on video. And you're like, oh, that's going to be super awkward. Okay.
Yeah.
It's the opposite for me because one, like, I'm used to being on a screen. That's irrelevant. But I'm used to playing at home at a table, and I'm used to being the DM. And anyone who knows my channel knows that my DM style involves a lot of stuff, a lot of work, a lot of physical things. So I'm used to when I play a game, that means a lot of work. Running the game and doing the terrain and all this stuff, it's tons of work. I just have to sit down here and once in a while think of something interesting to do. So for me, it was really relaxing and easy because I don't have to worry about the story arc. I don't have to worry about, you know, what everyone's doing. I can just think of a cool thing for this lizard to do this turn. And it's easy. So for me, it was.
You know, I kind of feel you. I kind of feel you on that. I mean, obviously, we've been doing Saver Dice for 2 years now, a year, whatever. I don't know, a while. And so for my home group, for that, like when we sit down and play, like it's a buddy that I convinced to like, hey, try out tabletop role-playing game. And so he's in his very first campaign. He's only played like 6 episodes. But for that, I'm like, oh, that's beer and pretzels with my buddy. Who cares? And then I get halfway through the session. I'm like, well, I didn't really prepare very much because, you know, whatever, it's just my buddies and he doesn't even know. And then I get this like, oh my God, I'm like the crappy home DM because like I'm the big YouTube guy, you know, like all my buddies can be like, wow, he really sucks. Like, you know, he's all talk because when I get ready to play at home, it's like, it doesn't have to have that weight that being on Saver Dice does. So I kind of take that so casually that I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah. But I think casual works better though. Like, especially like around a table. Cause I've seen so many DMs that are worried about that, like, oh, I'm gonna be a bad GM. I'm like, you're gonna be awesome because no one else wants to do it.
Yeah.
Right? Like, if you were that bad, someone else would step up and say, let me run for a while. No one does because you're not as bad as you think.
We were kind of dicks when we were younger, and we did kick someone out of the chair while they were DM. You're really,
no, you're not doing it anymore.
They must have been real bad.
Dude, that's
pretty
awesome.
bad.
Oh, we still talk about it. Like, he was running a module, and he's like, the PCC. And we were so cool.
Great. That's
we were so
awesome.
cool.
The PCIe slot comes up and says,
I have a question for everyone, since everyone's a GM. Sit or stand?
Oh, sit. Man, I got such a bad back. I can't stand for long enough for a whole game. No way.
I Matthew Mercer it. I stand during combat and I sit during any other moment.
Okay, I take it
so
back.
during combat, I'm like, I'm moving the board and I'm standing up. And because I'm excited too, I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And I like to go as fast as possible, so I stand up. However, we can't do that on our streams. So during combat, when I'm DMing, I'm like, I have to sit right here, and I really don't want to.
You need a standing desk. I also stand as much as my body can take.
It's okay. I have a GM who runs a lot of City of Mist, and bye, Cody. See ya. He's blasting off to the floor.
Dun, dun.
I have a GM who runs a lot of City of Mist and other games, and he can't sit, like can't at all. So we're in his living room and we're playing, and he'll stand up. He'll walk around his kitchen. He also vapes while he DMs too. So he's just like, he's across the kitchen.
So it's like a dragon?
We're like all sitting, and he's like way over there, like, all right, so you say that. And he gets to DM from there, and then he'll walk around the room, and we're all just like watching him. And it's just how he is. We're used to it, but it's really funny if you were somebody that was new and watching it, because it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, well, and I like to go
at least I'm not as bad as that.
Yeah, I like to go with the sit because that lets you do the stand at the dramatic moment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Say something big, you get to like add that little extra punctuation by like, oh, and now I'm going to stand up and wave my arms around.
And my favorite thing is not standing up and like getting into it. My favorite thing is that you introduce some small little meaningless thing, and then the players start fucking overanalyzing, going crazy. And then I just like sit back, go into my chair, and let it play out for 15 minutes while that's the best moment.
So with all of you guys having like you do channels and stuff, because Cody brought it up, is there like a precedent when you go to sit down to play D&D? Are they like, whoa, this guy knows what he's talking about? Like, do you have that?
Well, all my players played with me before I started my channel. So
yep.
I mean, my home group, long story short, it was one of those of like, I quit, bye. I'm not gaming with you guys because of one guy, and they're old high school buddies, so it was heartbreaking.
That sucks.
But it was like, and I made a whole video about it. You know, it's a time to dump your friends. Where it was like, it's okay for your level at if you were into fishing, right, and you want to go out fishing with your buddies, and you're having a great time, that's fine. But if you're like, you really start getting into it, and you're like, I want to buy my own boat, and I want to order a magazine, and I want to go to a trade show convention about fishing, like. It's okay if your friends still just want to casually fish, every 4 or 5 weeks. It's okay to break away from that and enjoy a hobby much more, because when you start hanging out with other people who are really into fishing like you are, you'll become friends with them. And which is what Saber Dice kind of is for me.
In that sense, I don't think that there's an expectation from my players on me, because now D&D is my thing. I think it's the other way around, where because I'm so immersed in all these things and other creators and watch shows, that I can get an unrealistic expectation of my players that I have to keep in check. That's what I got to be careful of.
So for us, it was weird. Like, we've got like a core group we kind of game with, but when we started Nerdarchy, more people kind of coming and going from our table. So, and even being like a content creator, I've never claimed to be an awesome or amazing DM. I've been doing it for a while, but I never really talk up that aspect. Like, had to do that more than I do.
It's so great because
I don't know. I'm just a dude.
I'm along there with Jeremy, where like I made the channel after we started playing, so all my friends just think I'm a fucking idiot that monetized D&D with a YouTube channel. So it keeps me humble, because when I sit down and play, they're like, Jacob, you don't know what you're talking about. They act like they know more than I do, and I'm like, have you seen my 8-part video series where I analyze all of that? And then occasionally they'll message me and be like, hey, I need some help with a rule, and I'm like, okay.
But I'm an idiot.
Daryl,
I guess I'm the encyclopedia.
So Daryl, I think, we've talked about this a bit off stream in this game. You have the dream job, right? You have the job that all of us probably wish we could have. 5-6 years ago, before YouTube was as popular, especially this niche on YouTube was as popular, you had the job that we all wanted to be. You are a full-time game designer for a tabletop role-playing game company. Like, that's amazing.
I actually haven't been full-time that long. Right.
You said like 3 years or something like that? Or
yeah,
4
like
years?
3 years is where I became full-time. Before that, I wrote for my own stuff. Like I put out a game like 20 years ago, which is more than most people do. And that was what got my foot in the door again later.
One game. Yeah, that's more than most people.
That is, though. Like, and people are like, how do you break in? It's like, do one. Even if it's a crappy one, if you've got one, that's one more than like
99% of players.
Exactly. It really is. And so, I had that one, but I, it broke even.
So
I didn't make money on it.
as you kind of transitioned into designing games from your previous career, like what happened to your home game? You know, like, do you still have friends that you meet up with like regularly, religiously, or when you can, or what?
I have been blessed with very great friends, and they're all like, we've got a very good group. Like, it's one of those groups that you're just like, we play together, and then we'll go to conventions, or people will come into it, and they'll come later and be like, oh man, I'm totally ruined now. Like, I went back to my other group, and it's not the same. And I'm like, yeah, it's so good. I'm so lucky to be surrounded by those people. But part of it was because I was designing not to publish, but just for myself and my friends. They got really used to me like changing rules and like doing this stuff. And we're going to try this crazy thing and this crazy thing. And everyone got really, really used to it. And we developed our own sort of house style.
Since you started asking Daryl questions, I have a question for you. So I've experienced essentially two different types of designers, right? The one is I made the game, now I make the next game, right? And it's going to be something completely different, genre, rules, whatever. Or it's like, and there's actually maybe three. Then there's one, it's like, I made the game, I will use this system to make game after game or genre after genre. And then there is the person's like, I made this game, I only make this game.
Right? I mean, yes. I mean, it's all what's in you. So one thing that I discovered when I was messing around on my own, but your biggest fear as a designer is that you've only got one game. And when you feel like that, you're like, oh, I've got to make it perfect. And so you tinker with it for like 15, 20 years and it never goes anywhere. And so the advice is always perfect. You know, you want it to be good, right? But you don't want it to be perfect. You want it to be done. Get it done, get it out there, and then move on to the next thing. And one of the things that I discovered was like, oh, like I did my one game. It was called Hard Vacuum, like back in the day. And I was like, do I have another game in me? Oh, I got like 5 games at least in here. And when I get rid of them, I'll move on to the next iteration of a thing. So yes, this isn't a well that's just going to dry up. I can do this.
Well, then I got another follow-up question for you, because I think, you know, this is such an interesting topic, and so rarely do we get to just sit down and like just shoot the shit with the designer. If somebody is interested in creating a game or somebody, whatever, should they start thematically or systematically? You know, D10, D20, you know, dice pool, what system should they start there, or should they start with here's what I want the world to be, or here's what I want the gameplay experience? Like, where is the best, like, here's where you need to start, and then from there it's going to branch off in different directions for every game designer, but here's where you should start.
So you can go from either angle, but you have to be very clear of your intent. So for example, if you've got a really cool, you know, we joke, like, I think John Wick was the first person I heard use this term, dice tricks. Like, I've got some really cool dice tricks, you know, that, like, it's D10s, it's a pool, it's a this or whatever. Great, you've got cool dice tricks, but they're not a game, right? Like, you couldn't strip away all the narrative features and just play that and have fun. Or maybe you can, in which case they're really, really good dice tricks. You're going to be able to do something neat with that. But if you've got something really good mechanically, your hard part is you have to know that and say, now I need to marry a narrative structure to this that makes sense, that brings it out. That's not just, well, I welded D20 to this other thing. And it's like, well, it kind of works, but why? Right? Like, and that's the hardest question to answer on all of those is why? Why did I make this choice for this thing? So if I want like a grim and gritty fantasy game, but everyone's got 80 hit points, that doesn't feel right? Like your theme is battling with your mechanics. And so from a design idea, you want to say like, all right, do I want to tell a certain kind of story? And if so, I want mechanics that are going to make that story happen, whether I'm the GM or not. Because that's the other thing. Like, I see these great GMs that are like, I've got this game system that does this, and you run with them, and they tell a very particular kind of story, and that's really cool and really great, but there's nothing in the mechanics that would take you down that avenue if you didn't have that person literally running the game for you. Or if they didn't have just a huge swath of advice that says, do this, do this, do this, do this. It's like, well, that's completely the opposite of what your rules are, but okay, I'll follow your advice and do this thing. So I think the games that tend to be more interesting and successful are the ones that are very aware of what they're doing and how they're making it, play into the kind of story that you want to tell. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it makes perfect sense. I have like 6 more questions I want to ask, and I'm trying to think like, how much do I want to hog the time? Which is like, Torg Eternity, it was great. Let's talk to Daryl about game design.
There's one good simple question in the chat that we should answer, which is what's the minimum stuff to start playing Torg?
What's the minimum starter set for the system if we want to try it out and see if we like it?
Absolute minimum, you need the core book and you need the drama deck.
The deck.
Everything else is cool extras.
I think they're asking, like, does Torg do like a starter set like some other games do?
So, there's been some debate on how to handle that best. We're going to do a starter set. It's a ways off. Like, our main focus right now is getting all the cosms out, because we kind of know a lot of people, they've played it, great. We need to get to the next level. We need to get to the second year of the war. So we're kind of going all in on gunning it to that second part of the year. But as soon as we get there, and probably like it's something we're working on the side as a starter box that would give you like enough of a deck to play with, an adventure that's going to hold your hand and walk you through getting going, the base rules, like just enough to play with.
But really, people need to just pick up the core book.
Just
that's got everything in it, and the deck.
Yeah, as long as one person has a deck, you're good.
Yeah,
and
you don't need more than one deck.
You can also play the game without the deck, right? You said
but
there are other options.
It's just not Torg without the deck.
No, I feel like having played it, that is the.
That's the game.
Big, that is there's two for me. Okay, so new player playing Torg for the first time. Take away what is Torg from experience. Torg is a very interesting setting that lends itself to you playing whatever theme you want, and it's the deck. Those are the two things. So for me, what was cool is if you're going to play something like D&D or Pathfinder, you are going to be stuck in a certain setting or theme unless you reskin or whatever. But essentially, you're stuck in fantasy. If you're going to play other games, you're going to be stuck in that fantasy. Whereas Torg feels like if you're the kind of like game master that wants to play D&D one night, but wants to play a Hellraiser themed horror game the next night without making it different games, this is the game that lets you do that seamlessly. And then the deck is the other part of it, which for me, I don't think it's really the same playing it over online. Like at a table, I could see that it would be scratching an itch for those of us who miss playing games like Magic the Gathering and actually playing cards when you start to realize how things can stack and that's
it gives players that weird level of narrative control that it's kind of like an indie game thing, but this is a game that did it like in the early 90s when it first came out, because you're like, yeah. And so we did a quick start for Free RPG Day 2 years ago. And it was probably the most challenging thing I've ever had to do, because we had 16 pages to get the base rules in and no deck. And I'm like, this isn't Torg. Like, it's out there and it gives you some of the base mechanics and a little adventure to go through. But without the deck, it's just not Torg.
I will say this is a game that you need table space for.
Yeah.
Because one of the challenges with streaming it is, like, I have limited space, so I'm shuffling things around. And, like, even looking at the modifiers takes longer because I have to, like, grab it from the side and have it, where on a table it'd be like right in front of you. You can just like glance and see it real easy, and everything's like real accessible.
Yeah, I just did a text file that had the mods on the one side.
And I have a comment about the mechanics. I found really interesting. This game is sneaky strategic. It's sneaky strategic is how I would describe it, because people who get it. And as a longtime Magic Gathering player, I used to travel, to other states to go compete in tournaments and stuff. Like, I appreciated that part of it, because it's like you understand card advantage.
Yes.
People who don't understand understand what card advantage is are going to have a harder time playing Torg, or at least until they learn what card advantage is, and then they'll kind of get it. versus people who are like, I just want to sit down and play and tell a narrative. And it's like, it has all of those things in it. But for the combat, I would put it just well below Pathfinder 2nd Edition, just a little bit below Pathfinder 1st Edition, and significantly above 5th Edition. As far for you people out there who are looking for other games to compare it to, strategy wise, like it's sneaky strategic, is how I would describe.
Really, I
game.
feel in some ways it's got way more strategic elements than a Pathfinder because of the cards and because you have to, you have to generate your tactics around what you have, and then with the approved maneuvers or approved actions every round. That's another. Another.
But the thing I would argue is that a lot of the strategy in some of those other D20 systems is the building your character. Like that's the strategy. It's just in a different part of the game.
But what's cool about this is that when there's strategy based on building your character, that's something you sit down, you do, it's pre-planned, and then you have that strategy in place. Whereas what I found interesting about Torg is if you're playing it like a Magic player, working with card advantage is, okay, we're in combat. I'm thinking about how the next couple people's actions and villains' things are going to play out and what I'm going to do. And then the drama deck pulls a card with approved actions that is nothing even remotely close to what I was planning. And then you have that decision to make of, do I do what I was thinking of doing, or do I do something that will give me card advantage, which in a way some people might not like playing to mechanics, but for me, it forces you to quickly improvise different things. And that's great. And even if you're bad at improvising and thinking of things to do, I think it can help because it forces you to, okay, what I want to do a taunt so I can get a card. How do I taunt?
Should I here, Jeremy, this one's for you. Should I ramp my magic or save these lands in case I need counterspell? But yeah, I would consider the game sneaky strategic. On the surface, it doesn't look like it's immensely strategic, and you think like, oh, well, the draw of the cards will be like a lot of random chance. No.
Yeah, well, and with the interactions working the way they do, like a lot of people are like, oh man, the dwarf is the best because it's got huge toughness and this huge attack and huge damage and all that. But like a character with a high intelligence and no weapon at all can take out bad guys just with a trick, right? Or a maneuver or whatever, and that
or a big lie.
Yeah,
or a big lie.
And that can completely change the dynamic of it because there's like a hardcore rule. It says, yeah, you beat them by 10. If they're a scrub, they're out of the fight, and we get to talk about how that happened.
So I saw a really great question over here, and I guess this is kind of more directed to you, Daryl, again. How close, it says, how close are farthest, I think it's...
How close or far is this?
Yeah, but it's ARE. How close are far this come to the original planned storyline? The next sentence is, God, this keyboard hates me. So, yeah. How far off were we from what you thought this game was going to be?
So the biggest departure, so a lot of it was pretty okay, within the 10%, you guys were mostly going where I expected. Some things played out much easier for you than, because sometimes you get that great run on the drama deck. Okay, cool. I thought the original chase with the tank and all that would really mess you guys up, and you guys just blew through it no problem. And here it was well, these are boats and not even the soldiers or a tank, and you got just hosed by it. So it's okay, there's a little bit of surprise there. My biggest surprise was, so when you guys were in Australia and the monster was attacking, and I was like, oh, and you haven't heard anything from the base where you landed. And in my mind, I'm thinking they'll go check out what's going on there, because in the background, Pan-Pacifica forces have taken it over, and they've gunned down all the NPCs there, and they're looting the place, and they're stealing the Eternity shards that you guys transported over. But you guys never went there, so I'm like, oh, well, I guess that's just not going to be a thing that they really care about. I'm like, all right, that could have opened up an avenue to do the finale. And we talked about this offline. It was very open choice in terms of would you guys want to go after this?
Yeah, I mean, we didn't plan, like, we don't plan anything on Saber Dice, but you did ask, like, hey, what continent do you guys think that you would probably follow up with on these 3 storylines that span between Japan, Australia, and Russia?
Right.
And we were like, oh, I think we'd probably go back to Russia. And we're like, oh, okay, I'll prepare that then. Okay.
So there was a lot of openness, and we've got the notes. We'll probably do something written for this at some point. Like, it won't be soon.
Okay, here's a question for the cast. Favorite character and best role player of the season?
The guy who wrote Keith on a piece of paper and then immediately ran away. That was my favorite character.
David, who do you got?
I think Jeremy did an outstanding job with Blood
Tongue's great.
Role playing of Blood Tongue was great. Although I really did love the Anton character.
I was going to vote for Anton, so he died too soon.
Oof.
I will vote Blood Tongue and Jeremy.
Thank you. Well, I think like CODY BUDZ was my favorite because he was such he was us, right? Like he was a kid that was born in the 80s, raised in the 90s. So I identified with it, like David, maybe not so much, but I got that character and I liked it.
Right?
Are you kidding me? I literally grew up in the 80s.
No, born in the 80s, raised in the 90s. That's a very specific generation.
Yeah, fuck those guys.
Yeah.
That's very specific. We're the guys that watched Hey Arnold and Cat Dog.
Yeah.
You guys missed the apex of civilization. That's all I'm saying. That was the
80s?
Yeah. After that,
hard pass.
The apex.
Hard pass.
If you were there, you'd know the 80s were in fact the best.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Amazing we lived through it, but yeah.
Right?
Well, Jacob wasn't born yet in the 90s, right?
I grew up in the early 2000s.
That's fine.
So I'm very millennial.
I don't count you as a millennial. You're the whole generation underneath of
It's
us.
like right underneath.
Because
millennials that are like
used
5 years older than me.
People used to call, and you're like, "Who called?" I don't fucking know. Like I remember that still. Like you grew, like by the time you were in second grade, the iPhone was a thing.
You know what?
I was not in second grade.
Oh, really?
Like the 80s, we were so horrible to each other, and we were just terrible. Like we now walk through the world watching every generation after us like curled up in the fetal position, going, "I don't get it. I don't know what's wrong."
But see, like me and Cody, we had the weirdest upbringing because we, in the span of 1 decade, learned how to use a rotary telephone and program a website. We learned how to listen to vinyl records and use an MP3 player. Like everything just went like in our little gap, and before and after it.
Dude, recording Michael Jackson songs on a cassette or like on a tape that you were listening to the radio, waiting for the commercials to stop. Oh, they're starting! And you hit play and record, and we got to rewind it with our pencils to like DVDs in like nothing.
In 5 years.
As part of you is
It felt like.
Yeah,
I don't want to be all like, hey, I understand, but what I'm pointing out is that I caught the tail end of that generation because I completely remember rotary phones. I remember having to use it. I also remember having we also had a home phone that didn't tell you who was calling either, so I remember that. I also remember having dial-up. I also remember sticking pencils in a VCR box. We had a whole shelf of VCRs. So, I had the tail end of that for about 5 or 6 years, and then immediately transitioned into higher tech stuff.
Do you guys really want to feel old? Everybody here will feel old. We bought my son I got a 5-year-old. We bought him like a toy Spider-Man flip phone, right? Like a little, it flips up. It's got Spider-Man. You press the buttons, and he was like, "What is this?" Because he's never seen a phone that is not like a square.
Yeah.
And so, like a flip phone. He didn't know. Dude, that pissed me off. I'm not going to lie. Hilarious. I love my son. That pissed me off. When he looked at that Spider-Man phone and he didn't know what it was, I was like, that is ridiculous.
My nephew was like, because they have the cordless phones at home, and he's like, no, they really should put a string or something on them because you always lose them. And attach it to the wall.
Attach it to the wall. That's a great idea. It's $1 million idea.
Oh my god. Good. Another question came in for Daryl. Is this going to be turned into a purchasable like module of some sort.
Yeah, so eventually this will appear in some written form. It is very vague right now where that's going to drop and what it's going to look like. But part of when we did this, it was like, keep all your notes on this. We're going to convert it to something. It's just a matter of where it fits.
How much writing did you do?
In this?
Yeah.
So I mean, you got a lot of, I had to create a couple of plot line outlines for you guys to go down, the potential avenues for them to go, the NPCs, so the treasures, and something that would be interesting to play around with, like some kind of interactions with with characters other than just, well, we fight, so there's a bit that went into
one thing people might not realize too is that all the characters we're playing are actually pre-gens that you can play yourself.
Yeah,
they're all on the art of the cards. Like, you have Marshall. You can name him whatever you want on this card right here if it'll focus. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? So.
I was I the only one that renamed a character? Do you
I
remember
renamed
Bloodtongue?
my
Was
character.
Bloodtongue renamed?
Yeah, because I don't think he had a name. It was just he was like the opposite one or whatever.
Yeah, mine's like the cop or something.
Yeah, his archetypal. So they've all got in the IP, like they're all like, and early on I was having a hard time not calling them. So Bloodtongue's IP character name is Moonwalker, and Marshall Lee's is Ji Zhang. Cody's is Aiden McAllister. Torek was just Torek. And,
I just rolled with the names in the book.
Anton was, and so was Eli, wasn't it?
Yeah, and that made it easier for me.
Yeah.
I didn't really want to come into the game saying, "Hi, everybody, I'm Ji Zhang."
Yeah, right. No, and I get that completely.
But actually, that's like makes me have a question for you, Daryl. I'm having play tested this game lots. You've probably run games for these same characters many times. So what is that like running games for the same characters that are being piloted by different people?
So, and I always tell people, drive them like you stole them. Like we don't, though there's like the IP character. So like we had poor Aiden like do a martyr and blow himself up in our big Gen Con game. And it's like, oh, yep, Aiden's dead. That's the meta plot going forward. Like that's what we want people to put their own stamp on them. And we tried to, in the archetype, give people enough leeway. And that's why there's a lot of, well, maybe it was this, or maybe it was this. So you feel like you're not tied into, like, this is what Aiden or Cody is. Like, Cody's different from Aiden. They've got the same stats, but they're two different characters. So we want people to feel that ownership. I mean, and really, in a real game, we would want you to build your own. But at conventions, who's got time for that, right?
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Right? So, and we want to keep them interesting enough and give you a place to start. Because Torg's big and weird, and without some place to start, it can be too much to grapple with. But when you hand someone and say, okay, no, you're a monster hunter. All right, that's all I need to know. Got it.
Okay, guys, so I think we are coming to the end of the Q&A session. I think the best way to finish this off is to just kind of recap where people can find each of us. I know a lot of people are going to be curious if Tuesday games are going to be continuing. Right now, we don't have any announcement on that, but we will be back tomorrow night with Karo Stones. And, of course, we still are available on Patreon at patreon.com/SaberDice. If you guys can go check out our After Dark podcast. If you want to see a bunch of people get incredibly raunchy, that's the place to do it, because that's why we don't have sponsors on that show.
It's really fun.
So let's start with Daryl. Daryl, where can people find you? Where can they follow you? Keep up with you? What's going on?
There's a Ulysses North America website. We've got Torg on it. On our other game lines, we've got a lot of cool stuff on there. Really, the easiest, best place to get us is on Facebook. We've got a Facebook page for Ulysses and for Torg, and we're always listening. So,
Jeremy, what's going on with you, man?
Just building little tiny miniature things for miniature people to live in. So if you want to build some things for your tabletop games, come check out Black Magic Craft. Or if you just want to watch me build cool things because you don't like doing them yourself, that's what I do on all the
Black Magic Craft. We make little stuff.
I make doll houses, but I excuse it as being cool.
It's
Because there's dragons.
as a big fan of your channel for quite some time, Jeremy. You're not far off from that. Jacob, where can people find you and hunt you down?
On YouTube at XP to level 3. I'm also on Twitter at XP to level 3.
Don't
Pretty
you
much
mean-
anywhere on XP to level 3.
Don't you mean Dr. Modnar?
Oh, shut the fuck up. That was a fucking shitty name. I mean, funny enough, I was going to say this because I'm petty as fuck. I was in 6th grade when the iPhone came out. So I was in junior high.
I was off by
And
4 years.
Yeah, I was
nothing.
and that was when I came up with that username. So
Dr. Modnar.
it all comes together.
David, where can people find Nerdarchy?
They can find Nerdarchy everywhere, pretty much.
Cool.
Nerdarchy.com,
Anywhere?
Nerdarchy, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter.
I'm gonna check out Grindr.
We stay on that.
I might have secretly made a
Nerdarchy
Nerdarchy
Tinder.
and I, of course, am Cody Lewis taking 20. You can find me on YouTube. It'll probably just be the clickbaitiest video title that you see come up in your suggested feed.
Are you trying to be ironic right now because you're just being self-aware?
That'll just be my videos. Whatever is the most clickbaity. We love your faces. We will see you guys tomorrow for the Caro Stones. Daryl, from the bottom of our hearts, thank you so much for joining us for the season.
Yeah,
it was an
for real.
absolute
Thank
pleasure.
you guys. You were awesome. So you guys were awesome. Thank you.
As they say on Nerdarchy, stay nerdy.
Bye, everybody.